Hi, I'm Briony Kennedy, the founder of Adorn Cosmetics. Now, for most of us, makeup makes us look and feel better, but is your makeup actually aging you or making you look older? If you're using incorrect products, maybe more chemical-laden products, the less natural products, drying products, or things that are too light, products that are too light for you, maybe the application is incorrect. Here are my top 10 no-nos for more mature skin. So if you're trying to have a more youthful, glowy, healthy look about you, hopefully these 10 tips of mine will help you out. So the first for me is foundation color. So you can see that this side of my face, if we concentrate on that for a moment, is looking really natural, dewy and light, where this side of my face is looking extremely harsh. Okay, so what I want to demonstrate is one of the first things that I need to instill, and that is for more mature skins to moisturize. Okay, lots of customers don't moisturize. You need to do that to help plump up the skin, make the skin look more hydrated, and if the skin is more plump and more dewy, then your foundation is going to go on a lot nicer. Okay, so that's my top tip. Make sure you pick a moisturizer that's going to suit you. The next tip is pick a foundation color that matches your décolletage, okay, not your neck and not the skin on your face. Okay, now on this side of my face I have selected the light color in the Adorn range, and you can see if I was to pop this on my neck here, it does appear to be my color. Okay, but if I was to pop it down here where I'm slightly darker, you can see just ever so lightly that it is actually too light. Now the reason for that is we get sun damage, maybe you've got pigmentation or freckling. So if I was to just go by the guide of my neck, then yes, it's correct, but the skin on my face is usually a little bit darker, and the same with the décolletage. So especially as we get older, we do tend to have quite a red or a darker chest. That's where you need to color match too. So yes, this is the light side that I've selected, and this side of my face I have selected the medium olive, believe it or not. So it's not particularly dark at all. Like on my neck it appears with the first swipe a little bit darker, but with some blending, okay, that's disappeared nicely. And over here you'll see that that is much more natural looking than this white side here. Okay, and that's the color that I've used on that side of my face. So as we get older, we need to infuse more warmth, and the way we do that is by correctly selecting a foundation color that matches your skin tone correctly on your décolletage. Okay, otherwise you're going to look more chalky. Lighter foundation colors are going to accentuate fine lines. They're going to make the skin look dry. It accentuates large pores, as you can see here. So it grabs on the skin and makes it look incredibly dry. And even around the eyes, okay, it just brings everything out. You can see up here where on this side of my face, you know, you can barely see any of that. It's looking nice and it's dewy and it's glowing. It's not accentuating anything that it shouldn't. Okay, so my next tip is concealer. Okay, so with concealer, if you are using a concealer shade that's quite light, and I do see people using concealers that are really white, then what that's going to do is lighter colors accentuate fine lines. They make things look bigger. So if you've got puffy, baggy, or a lot of skin under there, a light concealer color is going to make that area worse. So you need to color match your concealer under the eyes to the exact same color that you have used on your foundation, especially for those of you that have that really baggy area or exceptionally creased. If you're a medium tan or a dark tan in our range, the chances are you'll need to definitely match that. So make sure that this area is not too light in comparison to your face. Now also you'll notice on this side, with the beauty of contouring and highlighting at the moment, a lot of people are putting their concealer in this area here. Okay, it brings the concealer down and it's supposed to help accentuate the cheekbones, but in fact it just makes the skin look dry. It makes it look more obvious when you've got those fine lines. So for me, on this side, all I've done is I've just applied a little bit where my dark circle is here, and a little bit on the outer corner where I have some redness. Okay, it's much more forgiving than applying it the whole way around, and a concealer can accentuate fine lines, so it's always about less is best when it comes to concealer under the eyes. Okay, so my next tip is contouring. Okay, again, it's the craze at the moment to do this really dark contour just under the cheekbone here and other areas, but I just thought I'd show you this area here. So contouring just under there is supposed to suck this area in and make your cheekbones look bigger. Now, often for us older or more mature people, you're finding that your face is starting to get quite narrow, and this is only going to make that look worse. You're going to look more gaunt. It could possibly even make you look a little bit sick. So for me, the most flattering way of contouring for a more mature skin or a more mature face, and also, let's face it, for people who are time poor, is to do my 3 technique with a really light natural bronzer. So you can't even see how I've done a quick contour here. If you're all thinking, but how do I do that? In a moment, I'll tell you how to copy this side of my face, okay, for a much more natural look. So give that harsh contouring the boot and just stick with something natural that I've done here. Now, blush. I either see people who don't wear blush, okay, and if you don't wear any blush, you tend to look flat and one-dimensional. Again, as we age, we do lose that natural colour in our skin. So it is great to wear a blush. So please wear a blush, but do not do this action where you've got this whole bright colour all the way down on your cheeks. It's too harsh. It just looks obvious. Blush is supposed to be emulating a gentle flush of the cheeks. So I've used the same blush color, but I've just put it gently on the apples of my cheeks, and I've just put it at the top here rather than pulling it all the way down to make my face look really narrow. Okay, so wear blush, but stick to the apples of the cheeks for more brighter colors, or if that is too much for you, then stick to something that's a little bit more natural. Copy the color of your lips. So there's a tip for a natural blush. Okay, so my other tip is with eyeliner. Okay, I see this common, and it's the good old black eyeliner underneath the eye here, and or the black eyeliner in the rim of the eye. So you can see that this eye, it looks smaller. It looks more harsh. It doesn't even look as healthy, this eye, to be honest, compared to this eye. So this whole black area here is just creating a flatness to the eye. It's not opening up your eye at all, okay? It's very harsh. Now, eyeliner is supposed to make you look like you've got more eyelashes. It's to give the eye definition and make the eye create, or give the definition of bigger eyes. So what I've done here is I've used brown, so brown over black as you mature, especially if you've got fair hair and or blonde hair or grey hair. And I've just put a little bit on the outer corners under here, so it's a little C. Okay, now my next tip is, for those of you that don't define your eyebrows, define them. I mean, it just gives a massive lift to the face. It gives definition, especially if you're not good at eye makeup. It really finishes off your face, as you can see here. And don't select a brow dust that's too harsh. So no pencils, they're really waxy looking, and just make sure that you don't use anything that's too dark, as that can be too harsh as well. Okay, so a really nice chocolate, a light chocolate, or something like a dark blonde. Okay, so Peggy and say the fair Betty in our brow dusts. Okay, so the other tip that I've got for you is lip colours. So lip colours, I often see people get stuck on their favourite. They've worn it year in, year out, and if it's a dark colour, you can see here how that dark colour has made my lips smaller on this side to that side. Okay, so as we age, we lose the volume in our lips, so it is always better to go for lighter colors, and preferably colors that have something in them, like a pink or a coral or a nice red. The toffees and the nudes and things like that can be quite harsh, and again make the lips look small, and they can also make you look really one-dimensional. So again, as you mature, it's about bringing color and infusing color back into the skin, so you look radiant, you look healthy, and these plums and nudes can often do the opposite. So each their own, but there's a little tip with lips. Now, if you have really small lips and you struggle with lipstick staying put, and it's creasing and it's traveling down, then stick with a really beautiful gloss. Now, you could use a nude gloss because glosses make your lips look bigger, okay? Nude lipsticks don't always have that effect. So if you're going for a gloss, go with something that's really natural and more of those nudes or natural pinks. Make your lips look bigger, and you won't have to worry about it creasing or running around in your mouth. Okay, now mascara, again, my top tip for mascara is, especially for lighter coloured hair or redheads, is to go with the dark brown. And if you don't have a lot of eyelashes, go with dark brown, okay? It's much more natural. Focus on the outer lashes rather than focusing so much in the middle where you can see you've got this sort of star fat fish chunky look. Focus on the outer lashes. So hopefully my tips have helped you today. I often see those top 10 I suppose makeup mistakes, if you want to call them that, each to their own, but hopefully these top 10 tips of mine have given you a helpful hand as to how you can get more of a dewy, natural look to the skin. Last but not least is setting powder. If you've got dry skin, but you would like to set down something, just focus on the areas that you would like to set down of your makeup. Especially if you've got an oily skin too, you can pop a setting powder over the top, but make sure it's translucent. Something like our oil control setting powder is excellent because it hasn't got colour in it. It's not going to dry the skin out. You don't want your skin too matte as you're getting older, as it will draw attention to dry skin. It'll also draw attention to large pores. So the dewier the skin, the better it's going to look and the healthier it's going to look. So how do you get these tips? I suppose if you just check out the links below, there will be some links to the tutorials, and there'll be ones for how to define the brows, how to create this eyeliner, the blush, the contour that I've done. So everything that I've done on this side of my face. So for a more natural look, then please see the links below, and also for products that I've used on this side of my face, also see below. So hopefully this has helped you, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.